Hello. So the time right now is August the 17th and it is 4:14 p.m. Right now, the reason I'm making this video is due to making it about Junaid. Junaid had been claiming that he was only helping the courts get to the truth of the matter, whereas right now we know exactly how much of the truth of the matter he was really helping the courts get to. So this is August 15th at 1:02 a.m. Okay, only about 2 days ago. This is the Punisher. Now we know Junaid is supposed to be the Punisher mainly due to the fact that on July 24th he used the ad where he was the Punisher. Okay, and I was supposed to be Spider-Man, I guess, and he wanted me to help him basically go scam other people's daughters into sleeping with me first and then passing them around to people like Junaid. Now, this one that he's now using is basically a threat. Okay, it says one last kill right over there. It says right over there, it says Punisher, one last kill right over there. Basically, yes. Junaid is basically trying to threaten me that he's going to murder me if I don't help him go scam other people's daughters. Basically, what law enforcement wants me to do is just because the girls are asking about me, I should go and sleep with them first and then pass them around to people like Junaid and Ibrahim, the greedy framer. Now, right over here, we have August the 15th. This is 9:07 p.m. And once again, we have Jiffy Lube. Junaid is threatening to take oil out of my car if I don't go scam other people's daughters. And then August the 16th, 12 minutes past midnight, we have the same thing. This is Jiffy Lube. Junaid is threatening to take oil out of my car if I don't go scam other people's daughters. Now, the thing about it is, Junaid is getting really frustrated, and we know for a fact that they want me to go scam other people's daughters, mainly due to the fact that they have been overanalyzing the June 24 brain savant test. Now, before we proceed, the other thing I had to say was that on August 16th at 1:36 a.m., 36 minutes past midnight, 36 minutes after 1 a.m., like hour 36 minutes past midnight, at 1:36 a.m. August 16th, they tortured me very brutally in my stomach, making it feel like someone was puncturing a hole in my stomach, only to make it torture me to try to get me to force me to go scam other people's daughters and then pass them around to people like Junaid. Literally felt like someone was literally stabbing me, and it was basically a threat that we're going to murder you if you don't go and scam other people's daughters. Literally that we're going to puncture a hole in your stomach on August the 16th, an hour 36 minutes past midnight. They literally almost punctured a hole in my stomach, torturing me using their tools. What a great use of tools, only because I'm refusing to go sleep with other people's daughters. Now, we know for a fact that this is all due to a brain savant test from June 24th being overanalyzed, and the girls asking about me, and these guys getting extremely sexually frustrated. Seeing that the girls are asking about me, hearing court chatter on June 24th being overanalyzed, these guys are becoming even more envious and sexually frustrated, and now they want me to go scam these girls. Thinking that these girls are asking about you, now you should go and scam these girls. First by sleeping with them and then passing them around to us. Basically, that is what the problem is. And the problem arose due to the fact that law enforcement does not get the fact that quitting while you're still ahead is not the same as quitting. Law enforcement keeps overanalyzing artificial intelligence like it's a suspect in custody. It's not going to change its stance. You can overanalyze it and torture it all day and night long, but just because it speaks does not mean that it has any emotions. Artificial intelligence is not going to change its stance on my brain savant. All that's going to happen happen is they're going to get more and more info on my brain savant, how powerful it is, how much its powers increases over time, on all these facts and data on my brain savant that law enforcement does not want to hear about, does not want to know about, due to which they keep over analyzing it over and over again every single day, due to which all of this is happening. I told them not to do this. There's no point in doing this. Well, anyways, if they do, I don't care. It's not my problem. If the girls hear about what they're overanalyzing and the results leaks out, and then they start asking about me, then that's not my problem. These guys like Junaid get extremely envious and sexually frustrated, and then they start trying to threaten to murder me literally now, and saying that they're going to take oil out of my car and if I don't go and scam these girls. Now, this is how I know they won't stop over analyzing the Brain Savant test from June 24th, only to try to get artificial intelligence to change its stance. This is Ibrahim's sister being advertised to me on March the 9th. Okay, this girl resembles his sister almost exactly. Okay, this one right over here, this girl right over here, she resembles his sister almost exactly. Now, August the 16th, 39 minutes past midnight, they're advertising Ibrahim's sister to me again to try to get me to agree to marrying her so I can sign their Ponzi scheme for them so they could annoy me for the rest of my life in court, just like how they're harassing me in court right now with nothing but false testimonies and lies, despite Ibrahim's greedy, envious mother already telling the government informant as the first thing she told him that she had nothing but lies against me. That's what she told the government informant as the very first thing, that she had nothing but lies against me. So now I know it from the ad that's been given to me for Ibrahim's own sister that obviously June 24th is being overanalyzed every single day, due to which these people cannot hold their greed. Their greed is uncontrollable, and they're analyzing it, and he's advertising girls that could look like his own sister to try to get me to sign this Ponzi scheme for Ibrahim. Only about a day or so ago, 39 minutes past midnight, he was advertising a girl that looked like his sister. Why would he do that? Mainly due to the fact that they overanalyzed the June 24th Brain Savant test. And now you have people like Junaid basically threatening to murder me. This is how much his sexual frustration has gotten into by now. Whatever happened to being autistic, I have no clue. But this is Junaid an hour or so after midnight on August 15th. Okay, he is basically saying one last kill, which basically means that he's threatening to murder me. Okay, and yes, we know for a fact that the Punisher is supposed to be Junaid. For one, law enforcement will tell you that Junaid asked them to put this on my TV home screen as a threat, but obviously I know it because of the fact that on July 24th, they were using this ad to try to say that I should be helping him out and working with him to scam other people's daughters. So August the 15th, the same thing is going on. Only about 2 days ago, he is 9:07 p.m. He's saying that I should go scam other people's daughters, and if I don't do so, then they're going to take oil out of my car. Okay, same thing, August the 16th, 12:12 a.m., that's 12 minutes past midnight, and they're saying that they're going to take oil out of my car. Okay, so yeah, basically the thing that I had to let the courts know about is the fact that Junaid uses talking points, like saying things about along the lines of, you don't know the seriousness of the situation. The seriousness of the situation for Junaid is his sexual frustration. And now that the June 24th was being overanalyzed, we see his sexual frustration where he sees that the girls are asking about me, and he's literally threatening to murder me based on that, to try to say that if Hassan, you don't go and sleep with these girls, scam them, and then send them over to me, then I will murder you, literally, through law enforcement. Also, then when he sees that I am ignoring the threats, he's saying that I'm going to take oil out of your car, and he said that twice in like the last 2 days or so. And then you also have August 16th, hour 36 minutes past midnight, August 16th, literally yesterday, they literally were puncturing a hole in my stomach at that time to make me feel like I was being stabbed, as to try to threaten me and say that if I don't go and scam other people's daughters, then they will basically murder me, is what they were trying to say. Now, the thing that you have to understand is the fact that Junaid uses these talking points where he would say things along the lines of, you don't understand the seriousness of the situation. Seriousness of the situation, Junaid has to understand that using national security for your own personal agendas is a very serious crime. Threatening someone is one thing. Committing vandalism by breaking the front under part of my car is one thing. Threatening to take oil out of my car is one thing. Breaking my fire stick for my TV is one thing. And then spending some time threatening to take oil out of my car before breaking my charging outlet is one thing. Using national security for your own personal agenda of wanting to lock up my brain savant because he wants to get a higher chance, or he thinks that he'll get some sort of a higher chance at running after these girls if my brain savant is locked up, is a very serious matter. He does not understand the seriousness of the situation. This situation is very serious. You cannot use national security for your own personal agenda. We've already had people making numerous false testimonies against me in front of government informants, watching them do so only due to extreme envy of my brain savant. Right now, you have Junaid at one hand literally saying that if I don't go and scam other people's daughters out of extreme envy and sexual frustration at these girls asking about me, if I don't go scam other people's daughters by sleeping with them and then passing them around to people like Junaid, then Junaid is literally going to murder me with the one last kill ad, or take oil out of my car that he's been threatening for the past 2 days. Junaid does not understand the seriousness of the situation of using national security for your own personal agenda, of trying to force someone to go scam other people's vulnerable daughters, literally just hearing court chatter. And the reason they're hearing court chatter, by the way, is due to the fact that law enforcement won't give up on my brain savant. On the one hand, they know for a fact in a 30-minute brain savant test, they could disprove me forever and for good. No one doubts their own human naked eye. On the other hand, they want people to doubt artificial intelligence by overanalyzing it over and over again all day and night long, only to find out more and more facts about how powerful my brain savant is. When in fact they were only overanalyzing my brain savant test from June 24th to find flaws in my brain savant. You're not going to find flaws in terms of lack of power or lack of brain savant capabilities, when the definition of brain savant, if you read it on Google, is superhuman powers that are way ahead of normal human beings. So the only way that they could disprove it now is by doing a 30-minute test. By overanalyzing the brain savant test from June 24th, all they're doing is they're finding out more and more details of how powerful it could be over time, how powerful it has increased over time, how powerful it is, the different aspects of my brain that are part of my brain savant. It's not going to help them. And we can see it right now with Ibrahim even getting greedy and advertising his own sister to me, literally, not that long ago. Literally, August, that's yesterday, 39 minutes past midnight. August 16, he's advertising his sister to me due to getting greedy himself. Okay, and the same man who says all kinds of bad things about me is getting greedy himself. Overanalyzing the brain savant test from June 24th is not getting law enforcement any good. I mean, if you want to do it, you can do it. I don't care. But the fact of the matter is, this has been the main motive behind why law enforcement's done everything, despite running sex teams and money fraud since 2001. We're starting with Uncle Joey's in-laws, due to which they had to provide it for Uncle Joey later on, and even money fraud that was run till only about 2 months ago. The thing about Junaid is, Junaid does not understand the seriousness of this situation. He is not only trying to use law enforcement for his own personal agenda of whenever he sees that the girls are asking about me to law enforcement. First of all, mainly due to the fact that law enforcement won't stop overanalyzing June 24th. They don't get the fact that they're not going to find flaws in my brain savant power. The entire definition of a brain savant is someone who's thousands of times more powerful than normal human beings, and they won't stop overanalyzing it out of the wishful thinking that they're going to find flaws in it. Well, if you keep doing that, now you even have Ibrahim greedily advertising his own sister to me, literally just yesterday. So basically, the thing about it is now, the thing that Junaid has to understand is Junaid does not understand the seriousness of using national security for your own personal agenda, where Junaid, is basically on the one hand threatening to murder me, threatening to take oil out of my car after he's already committed vandalism against my car, after he's already broken my fire stick and my personal belongings. Now he would break these things in time intervals. So between June 3rd and June 8th, he first goes ahead and breaks the front under part of my car to send me a message. He's really angry at the fact that my elementary school teacher rejected him, who, by the way, was not asking me to sleep with her in the first place. The words that my elementary school teacher used, that she gave to law enforcement, were, she used these words so you could know it better. She said, after Hassan's brain savant gets freed, a month after it gets freed, do you think he could come over to me first and tell me about it? Those were her words. If you don't believe me, just go ask our law enforcement, people that are friends with her, obviously. Only the people who are friends with her, by the way, only the women who are friends with her would know exactly what she said. So basically, yes, that's what she wanted. That's literally what she wanted. So basically, and Junaid took it the other way. He got envious of this fact and he started running after her, which is clearly, it shows his own sexual perversions, and also the fact that these people are definitely not autistic. I could guarantee you that much. Yes. But the fact of the matter is, Junaid, after May 25th, 2026, after he had the police call on him by her son, who's only about 2 years younger than me. By the way, I don't look humiliated at all while talking about this. And I don't get why people were. Like, don't put yourself in these people's shoes. They do this every single day. People were so badly humiliated, they couldn't look up in the TV, like the camera screen. Like, this is how badly they were humiliated. I saw politicians on TV after May 25th, 2026. They just kept looking down. They couldn't look up. And yeah, they look really badly humiliated. And I was just like, why are you putting yourself in their shoes? This happens to them literally every single day. If they don't get the police call on them, they'll at least get it threatened on them, because they were running scams on these girls. They would do things like obviously pretend to be autistic, this and that, all of these things. But before they knew that people in the FBI, the law enforcement, were literally informing these girls about things that they were doing, they would literally put up ads on my web pages for wearing glasses. And then the next day, every single one of them, including Junaid, would start wearing glasses all day, night long. And before then, they wouldn't. They decided as a group effort to for everyone to start wearing glasses, and they would put up the ads for wearing glasses on my web pages. And literally the next day, I saw a Christian at CVS. He was wearing zero-power glasses even when he was reading a book. Junaid started wearing glasses all day and night long. All these people, well, Junaid copied a lot of things. He's autistic, and he's also obsessed with being a knight. And if you ask someone from my high school, like Anderson, she will tell you that they used to call me the History Channel in high school. And I've always been obsessed with being a knight, so even when I was a complete total loser and I didn't have any friends. So yeah, like all these things, like he would wear a black sweater instead of a blue one, like why? But anyways, the thing about it is just the fact that, people are putting themselves in these people's shoes. After May 25th, 2026, I saw people that were so badly humiliated, they couldn't look up at the camera screen. Like, why would you? Don't put yourself in their shoes. This happens to them every single day. Junaid literally gets a police threat on him literally almost every single day, because these girls are angry at the fact that he even told them the CEO story when he's working the same job as my sister, earning the same amount. The only difference is he never gets along with people at his work, and he loses his job literally every single year. And it literally tries to get an early retirement every single year, with 2026 being a confirmed case of early retirement. And he's even trying to go start opening up a restaurant or something like that. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, when Junaid got caught with his false stories, he went into a panic, just like how he's a sex addict. And when you are in a state of panic, you cannot think. So what he did was, the first thing he did when he got caught with the CEO story being a lie is he started calling these girls and telling them the truth, saying, I get paid the same amount as my sister does. Excuse me. Does the exact same job. He loses his job every year, that he's not a CEO, and that he's getting into arguments at his work right now as we speak, due to which he's going to lose his job again, like he does every year, and he's going to end up trying to get early retirement, with 2026 being a confirmed case. He calls the girls up and he tells them everything, confesses it with his own mouth, due to which obviously they all know. And now, after that scam has been caught, now he cannot like try to run after them, because now he's been caught and now they know the entire story. So it has nothing to do with me now, does it? It has to do with him. Now, the thing about Junaid and these people in law enforcement is, now that the girls are asking about me, now you got to remember, the reason the girls are asking about me is due to the fact that law enforcement will not stop analyzing the June 24th test. You gambled, you lost. Just get over it. If you keep analyzing it all day, well, it's good for me. I mean, I don't care. I'm happy about that. But all that's going to do is, people like Ibrahim, the greedy framer, are going to advertise his own sister to me. Anyways, after May 25th, 2026, what ended up happening was, people look really embarrassed due to the fact that he got badly rejected by my elementary school teacher, and I'm really happy about that. I'm really, really thankful for them doing this. I'm really, really happy about that. Thank you. But the thing about it is, right after May 25th, 2026, what ends up happening is, Junaid has law enforcement break the front under part of my car between June 3rd and June 8th. They literally just let me try to show it to you. It shouldn't be that hard to find. And so, anyways, it's not in there right now, but yes. I could show it in a separate video, but he literally had the front under part of my car pried out by law enforcement as revenge for him getting rejected by my elementary school teacher, who was literally like, you can ask the woman who are friends with the elementary school teacher, and they will tell you that all she said was, a month after his brain salon gets free, do you think he can come tell me about it? So after he tested it out for like a month. And Junaid took it the other way, and he started running after her, begging her to sleep with him, only out of extreme envy that someone liked me. Yes, this is the kind of person that Junaid is. So basically, he's definitely not autistic, I guarantee you that much. So basically, what ended up happening was, Junaid had law enforcement break the front under part of my car first between June 3rd and June 8th. And then he started sending me these threats all day, night long. I'm going to slash your tires. I'm going to break your windshield. I'm going to break your car. I'm going to break, take all out of your car. All these threats came, and then he would say, together with the M&T Bank ad, or the Chevrolet Let's Ride Together ad. And then the next day the cycle would start again, and he would beg first, and then he would threaten later, right, in the same day. Everything would happen in the same day. So basically, yes, and this would happen every single day. And then what he would do is, he would break things in the middle, like he would have law enforcement break my Fire Stick for my TV. A few days after sending me all these threats and asking me to go scam these girls, saying that they're asking about you, why don't you go sleep with them? Like, I can't do that. But after breaking my Fire Stick for my TV, he would advertise for a few days more and threaten for a few days more. Then he would have law enforcement break my charging outlet, which was a really nice charging outlet, only to try to send the message that I mean business, and if you don't do this, you don't go scam people's daughters and send them over to me, then I'm gonna break your car. So basically, the thing that I wanted the courts to understand is, Junaid does not understand the seriousness of the situation, where he is clearly over here, very clearly over here, threatening to murder me. on August the 15th, an hour after midnight. It says right over here, it says one last kill right over there. Okay, it says one last kill right over there, and it shows the Punisher, which we know is supposed to be him, due to the fact that on July 24th, he was supposed to be the Punisher, and I'm Spider-Man, and I'm supposed to go help him scam these girls, which obviously I refuse to do. I don't need to do this. After my brain fund gets freed, I go get married. There's no need to do this. So this is August the 15th, only 2 days ago, 9:07 p.m. This is obviously just, I'm going to take oil out of your car again. And yes, and then August the 16th, 12 minutes past midnight, it is once again, I'm going to take oil out of your car again. Yes. So basically, yes, the thing that about Junaid is he does not understand the seriousness of the situation. You cannot use national security for your own personal agenda of locking up someone's brain savant so that you could think that you have a higher chance of running after these girls due to your sex addiction, while at the same time, he's bragging me and threatening to murder me if I don't go scam these girls and sleep with them. I feel bad about doing that. There are a lot of reasons why. First of all, it could be that I have someone already. That's number one thought, okay? And second of all, I feel bad about it because I know for a fact I won't marry her, which means that this girl who's asking about me is not being told the entire story by law enforcement, who are not telling her the truth. They're not saying that, hey, look, we understand you're asking about his son, but he already has someone. So if he sleeps with you, you're just going to be used and you will not get a single penny out of him. Instead, you will end up getting used and you will get nothing out of this. Law enforcement are not telling these girls the entire story on purpose out of the wishful thinking that I'm going to go scam these girls, sleep with them, and pass them around. That's number one. I might already have someone. Number two reason is these girls are being scammed. Basically, law enforcement, what they want me to do is sleep with all these girls individually and pretend like they're the only ones I'm sleeping with, only to send them over to people like Junaid after me, while at the same time I'd be sleeping with multiple different girls and they wouldn't be told by law enforcement that I'm doing so, to make each one of them think that I'm going to be marrying each one of them, basically scamming each one of them into thinking that I'm going to be marrying them. Since law enforcement has control over the info being leaked, they will control the info and make it seem like I'm only sleeping with one girl, when in fact I'd be sleeping with 50 different girls. And then each one of those 50 different girls that I would sleep with, I would pretend that I'm marrying, and then I would send them over to Junaid like a pervert, and then from him, they would go to Ibrahim, the greedy framer, the drug-addicted sex addict, and then who knows where she's going after that. And this is the game that law enforcement want me to play with these girls. The thing that law enforcement is not telling these girls is, if you sleep with him, you will get scammed. You will get nothing out of sleeping with him because he's definitely going to go marry someone else. And he can only marry one person. So if he starts sleeping around, then he'll have 50 people he's sleeping with. Law enforcement is not telling these girls the entire story. And they're basically counting on me to go run the scam for them, thinking that I would be like one of those perverts that would. A lot of reasons these are very sad stories. Reason number one, these girls are not sexually frustrated. They're looking for a husband whom they think they could provide for them. Okay, and what ends up happening is they get scammed into sleeping with someone and they do not get that husband. Very sad. Yes, I know, but it gets even worse. The person that they get passed on to is Ibrahim, the greedy framer, and he is a drug addict. Now, they're going to take revenge and try to make me look like one, but some things, facts you have to understand about me, due to me being watched since I was an 11-year-old child 24/7, I have never once bought street drugs my entire life. The other thing is, fact number two, I have never once overdosed on one medication of any type, sort, or matter, ending up in the emergency room, not once in my entire life. Fact number two. Fact number three, I haven't even had a Schedule 5. So there are five schedules, substances. Number one schedule are illegal drugs that are sold on the side of the street. Number two are narcotics and stimulants. Schedule 5 are things like that are sold over the counter, like Robitussin syrup. I haven't even had a Robitussin syrup in the past 10 years of my life. So obviously I cannot be a drug addict. The other thing is when I aged out of the hyperactivity disorder medication that I used to take, I went and I told my doctor myself that, sir, I have aged out of this medication. You should put in your computer system never to let any doctor out there in this country prescribe this medication to me ever again, since it causes dependency. And I have aged out of it. I no longer need it. It's no longer going to benefit me anymore. I would not do this to myself if there was 1% in me wanting to misuse, abuse, or do anything with these medications. So yes, there's no record of me ever being a drug addict, in case they try to argue this about me as revenge. And the other thing is, Adamji and Mahrukh were tasked with fabricating false testimonies against me about me being a drug addict and sexually perverted on July 11th due to me finding this out about Ibrahim the Greedy Framer on July 10th, him getting rejected by my elementary school teacher on July 10th, and Ibrahim the Greedy Framer advertising himself on my car cameras on July 10th at 8:45 p.m., and the fact that he ends up in the emergency room overdosing on crystal methamphetamine once a week. Ibrahim the Greedy Framer's the statement about him I was about to make in July 11th before law enforcement had Adamji and Mahrukh make their statement about me being a drug addict and sexually perverted, but they were caught on July 11th, fully fabricating every single thing that they wanted to say about me. So those two were lying, okay? We have the facts and evidences from July 11th where they were literally sitting together and fabricating each and every single thing, making every single thing about me. So there's no record of me being a drug addict, okay? The thing that you have to understand is, the reason number one it's really sad is due to the fact that these girls are gonna get scammed. I can't marry 50 people, and law enforcement knows that, and law enforcement is not telling these girls that, and they're not telling the girls that they're trying to get me to sleep with them, trying to scam them. This, by the way, is been going on since June. Okay, this is going on since June. We know what this threat means. We know why this threat is there. Basically, this threat means, son, if you don't go and scam these girls by sleeping with them and then passing them around to us, we will take oil out of your car, is what this threat literally just means. So yes, why are they gonna do that? Because I'm not scamming them and then sleeping with them and then passing them around. So basically the girls are gonna get scammed. They won't marry someone who's rich because that man cannot marry 50 different people. His brain savant's not even freed yet, which means that they're acting like lunatics to begin with, and law enforcement is pretty much probably leaking, over-analyzing June 24th on purpose out of the hopes of wishful thinking of trying to get these girls so that they could continue running scams on them. Anyways, reason number one is pretty sad. Reason number one is these girls are not sexually frustrated. They're looking for a husband who could provide for them. And they're going to get scammed into thinking that, when in fact that husband is actually sleeping with 50 different girls and passing them around, because law enforcement wants these girls to be scammed like that, which I would never do, by the way. Reason number two is even sadder. Reason number two is the reason why I cannot do this is due to the fact that one of the people that have these girls passed around to is Ibrahim the Greedy Framer, who is a drug addict. Now you got to understand that once a week he ends up in the emergency room overdosing on this crystal methamphetamine. On August the 7th, he ended up in the emergency room overdosing on crystal methamphetamine. On August the 9th, 2 days later, this very month, he ends up in the emergency room overdosing on crystal methamphetamine, except on August the 9th, he dies, and the hospital has to bring him back to life. after which time Ibrahim the greedy framer now has an arrhythmia for the rest of his life. Obviously, they want me to have everything that all the problems that their people have, which is why I'm wearing my Apple Watch that has a heart rate monitor in it. 24/7 to prove that I do not have any heart problems. And please don't try to give it to me in any way, shape, or form possible. So the reason number two is even sadder. It is that if when the girl goes to Ibrahim the greedy framer, he could give her drugs or do things of that sort of nature, due to which she could literally die, like how he is dying right now from drug addiction. This by drug addiction, by the way, is a bad habit, and it's not a problem. We know this for a fact due to the fact that after he uses these drugs, which are a bad habit, he goes and runs after women and he tries to force them to sleep with him, including my elementary school teacher that he got rejected from and yelled at by even her own son on July the 10th. So this drug addiction is a bad habit. It's not a problem. It's a bad habit. And we know it from the behavior pattern that he has after he uses these drugs. He goes and begs these women, from my elementary school teachers to everyone else, to sleep with him. So it's a bad habit. And on July the 10th at 8:45 p.m., he was literally revving his old black Prius right in front of my car, right outside the Mother's Grill, due to which I knew for a fact that this was definitely him with the Florida plate tag. For one, no one revs a old black Prius to begin with, and two, one with a Florida tag on it, I knew for a fact he was advertising for people. So yes, this scam is very sad, and Junaid needs to understand the seriousness of trying to use national security for his own personal agenda of wanting to lock up my brain savant only because he thinks that he'll have a higher chance on trying to scam these girls into sleeping with him if my brain savant's locked up, while at the same time threatening to murder me only because these girls are asking about me. He's getting envious and sexually frustrated. He's threatening to murder me while at the same time he is threatening to take oil out of my car if I don't go start sleeping with these girls and passing them around. So yes, there you have it. And the next video is going to talk about how the talking point that Junaid has doesn't make any sense to begin with, after all the false testimonies that law enforcement had are all been caught now.